Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, Raila Odinga addressed the media. And in that address to the media, Raila Odinga shocked Kenyans when he revealed his plans to join Sabasaba celebrations in Kamkunji Grounds. But yesterday, Raila Odinga failed to show up. Why do you think Raila Odinga failed to show up at Kamkunji Grounds for Sabasaba? In this video, I want to reveal to you guys the shocking reasons why Raila Odinga failed to show up. Because I'm 100% sure, if Raila Odinga had showed up, probably Kenyans would have humiliated him. Before we get into all those details, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to begin this video by playing the clip of Raila Odinga on Sunday, just a small portion of it, where he was explaining why he was going to join the Kenyans at Kamkunji Grounds.
They lifted Section 2A and allowed for formation of political parties. And the first party to be registered was the Forum for Restoration of Democracy. The first rally was held at Kamkunji. So we say that the Kamkunji has got a historical meaning, and that's why we wanted to go there. So what we're saying is that if you want to remember Sabasaba, then we go to Kamkunji. I always go to Kamkunji, even quietly, but I always go there on Sabasaba Day to just go and remember the people who lost their lives there. So my idea would be we go to Kamkunji tomorrow, because if you're talking about protesting, you are protesting, where is this protest going to start and where is it going to? My view would be the road should lead to Kamkunji, and then in Kamkunji people meet there and pass a resolution. This is what we want, the Kenya we want.
So yesterday, Kenyans were really waiting for Raila Odinga to show up, but he did not show up.
I was going to go to Kamkunji to join other Kenyans in commemorating this very important day. Unfortunately, as you all know, circumstances, today there are roadblocks all over town, which has made it difficult for people to move to Kamkunji. In the circumstances, I've decided therefore to talk to the media here at Serena.
And Kenyans were really following the events at Kamkunji Grounds. And clearly the ground was not favorable for Raila Odinga.
Walinda usalama wakiwa wameshika doria kuzuia waandamanaji kupita katika barabara hiyo. Picha unazoziona za moja kwa moja ni Kamkunji, sehemu ambayo kinara wa chama cha ODM Raila Odinga, ambaye kwa sasa anashirikiana na serikali ya Rais William Ruto, alikuwa ametangaza kwamba kutakuwa na mkutano wa maadhimisho ya Sabasaba kuwakumbuka vigogo wa kisiasa ambao walipigania demokrasia na kuwepo kwa uhuru wa vyama vingi vya kisiasa.
So later in the day, Raila Odinga addressed the media again, but from Serena Hotel. And in that address to the country, Raila Odinga explained to Kenyans why he didn't show up at Kamkunji Grounds.
Before that day, some patriotic Kenyans had demanded the repeal of Section 2A of the Constitution. A number of people, including Kenneth Matiba, Raila Odinga, Mohamed Ibrahim, Toby Manyara, John Haminwa, and Charles Robia, among others, were arrested and detained. It is quite unfortunate that some of the people we were fighting then and who sanctioned those arrests are trying to hide behind Sabasaba to advance their political fortunes. Some of them are alive today and now are masquerading as liberators.
Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Raila Odinga in the first place announced that he was going to join Kenyans at Kamkunji Grounds? Why do you think he did that? Why do you think he made that announcement? For me, I think maybe 2 or 3 main reasons only. Number one, he wanted to take credit for the Sabasaba protest. Because remember, Gen Zs have been organizing protests in the Republic of Kenya successfully. Sabasaba Protest were not about Gen Zs. So Raila Odinga probably wanted to own the protest. He didn't want the credit to go to any other person because people like Jimmy Wanjigi had positioned themselves to take credit for the Sabasaba if it were going to be successful.
I've seen Gen Zs getting tear gassed. Kula tear gas. Hata sisi tumekula tear gas. Endeleeni kukula tear gas. Tell them to add more tear gas. Tell them you will not surrender. Gen Z. Gen Z. They told me, Baba, kaa nyumbani. Umefanya ya kutosha. Tutaendelea. Niko nyumbani lakini niko behind you.
Number two, there is also the Nairobi politics. I think Raila Odinga is losing grip of Nairobi politics if he's not very careful. I don't want to get into details for now, but there's something he's not getting right. And lastly, maybe he also wanted to counter the Sabasaba protest because these guys had announced that they were going to organize Sabasaba and they were promising to go to CBD. Raila Odinga said that Sabasaba was not about CBD. So by calling that rally, he had expected his supporters to converge at Kamkunji Grounds. And therefore, the contest was going to be how many people are going to join Raila Odinga in Kamkunji and how many people are going to go, for example, to CBD. But in the morning, the police clearly locked CBD out of access. But why do you think Raila Odinga failed to attend Kamkunji rally? Number one, there was the fear that the youths were actually going to clash in Kamkunji Grounds. Then who was going to be blamed? Raila Odinga. The truth is, there were youths who went to Kamkunji Grounds for Sabasaba Rally. And then there were also those youths who are going to go to Kamkunji Grounds to protect Raila Odinga. At the end of the day, they were going to clash. Who was going to take blame? Because we have a trigger-happy police. They were going to shoot at people at the end of the day. People are going to die there. Who was going to take the blame? The police or Raila Odinga? Raila Odinga was going to take the blame. So probably Raila Odinga was advised by NIS not to go there because he was actually determined. I spoke to some of his allies. Raila was actually determined to go to Kamkunji, but there was that fear that chaos were likely to erupt and Raila was to take the blame. Number two, Raila Odinga did not show up at Kamkunji Grounds because of the disagreements within his camp. Two camps have emerged in Raila Odinga circles. The first camp believe that Raila Odinga should continue supporting William Samoei Arap Ruto. And then there's another camp which believes that supporting William Ruto is actually setting Raila Odinga against the people. So they wanted Raila Odinga, the second camp, which believes Raila should have joined, they wanted Raila Odinga to join so that he could be identified with the people again.
What is to be done? What is to be done? I propose an inclusive, intergenerational, national conclave to hear our people across all divides and come up with irreducible reforms and changes necessary to take the country forward. I propose that the country urgently returns to the agenda of comprehensive police reforms, focusing on enhancing accountability, transparency, and improving the police-to-people relationship. Your rogue police force that shoots people with impunity. And this is a force that we inherited from the colonialists. it has not been reformed to become a people's defender.
There's the camp which is led by Winnie Odinga, and then there's the camp which is led by Junet Mohammed. Those two camps are the reason why Raila Odinga did not show up. On Sunday, the other camp had access to Raila Odinga, and they convinced Raila Odinga, Baba, you have to do it. After that statement, the second camp came on board and took charge. And that's why Raila Odinga addressed the press from Serena Hotel. Number 3, there was also the fear that Raila Odinga was going to be embarrassed. The turnout was not going to be good because normally these protests are normally organized by MPs or MCS. Most MPs and MCS were against the protest. I'm talking of ODM MPs. So they could not be used to mobilize the ground. The MCS are currently fully supporting the broad-based government. For example, how do you convince Matakwebo Bimba, the Korogocho MP, the Korogocho MCA, Absalom, my friend, how do you convince him to organize youth to turn up for Sabasaba? How? Well, he's now deeply in government. So there was that fear that Raila Odinga was going to be embarrassed by low turnout. And of course, by morning, you could see the ground was not really pro Raila Odinga. Number 4, there was also the fear that Raila Odinga's strongholds, say Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, were also going to follow suit by joining the demonstrations. Raila Odinga is working with William Ruto. If there's one thing William Ruto do not want to happen, is this protest, whether in support of his government or not. Something was going to happen. Raila Odinga probably was going to be humiliated in Nairobi. Then his backyard were going to turn up. And also, there was the fear that by showing up, Raila Odinga was going to be viewed by Gen Zs as saboteur of their protest. Because this was Sabasaba, not necessarily Gen Z protest. But currently, any protest in the Republic of Kenya is associated with the young people. That's why when Raila Odinga addressed the press yesterday, they were like Raila was teaching them history, which they were not interested. And then questions were being asked, if you're not interested in history, why do you even mark a historical event? So there was the fear that Raila Odinga was going to be branded saboteur by the agencies, which he didn't want. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but for me, Raila Odinga should decide to either support William Ruto fully, the way he's been doing, or to exit instead of sending mixed signals. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.